Welcome to Rouse Flybox. Today we're going to tie what I refer to as my pond leech. It's the only warm water leech that I tie anymore. It's basically a mohair marabou leech. Not a lot different other than the color combination that I use. I start out with either a size 6 or a 4 straight eye woolly bugger hook, or I believe it's a 4X straight eye streamer hook, and a black tungsten bead. We're going to begin by tying in 0.015 lead substitute wire. We're going to start at the beginning of the eye. I'm going to wrap a solid base all the way up to the bead. And at that point we'll break it off and snip off the tag and seat it a little bit more up against the bead. I want this fly to sink rapidly, so that when you retrieve, it's a constant swimming motion. Next, we're going to start our thread. Our thread is black Danville 210 denier. Going to overwrap and secure our lead. Keep it in place, and then we're going to bring our thread back to the end of the barb, or to the end of the shank, I'm sorry. And at that point we'll begin tying in our tail. The tail is a 3-stage tail. I'm going to start off with black marabou. I like to dampen it just a little bit so it's manageable to tie in. We're going to measure that to be hook length. Pinch it in that position. Allow about a 1/4 inch overhang so that it comes to the back of the lead. A couple pinch wraps and secure it in place. And notice I didn't do a full-size tail. Slightly small tail. And the next material we're going to tie in is another small clump of purple marabou. Not going to overdo it, because like I said, this is a 3-stage tail. Again, measure it to be hook length. Pinch at that point. Cut it off with an extra 1/4 inch of overhang. And then we'll tie it in again, same spot. Wrap forward and back again to the initial tie-in point. And then the next and last part of the tail is another identical matching section of black on top. Get a little damp so I can measure. Pinch. Snip off that third piece and tie in at the same spot. And bring it back to the back. There's our 3-stage tail. We're going to come back up to the end of the lead. We're going to tie in our next material. It's 1 strand of black mohair yarn and 1 strand of purple mohair yarn. Now this mohair yarn is directional. You can see that there, if you look at it closely, you'll be able to see that the fibers come off in a certain direction. You want to just match. It doesn't matter whether or not you do forward or back, but what you want to make sure is that both strands are the same. And we're going to tie that in right at that lead junction again. Wrap back over to the tie-in point of the tail. And then we're going to just bring our thread all the way to the front, back of that bead. And next what we're going to do, normally in a mohair leech, I tie this in and I strip the yarn back as I go. But with this pattern, with a larger tail like this, I like to wind it as is, so I don't gather up the tail. And all you're going to do is wrap it forward, and you'll see you'll be able to pull those fibers right back out at the end. I'm going to bring that purple and black up forward. Get a little ahead of ourselves with one strand there. You don't want to twist this. You want to keep it together, just side by side. Tie off behind the bead. Couple wraps up tight. And give a good 3, 4, 5 turn whip finish on this fly. And we're going to clip off our excess. Now at this point you're going to take your bodkin and you're just going to pull. You can use a Velcro brush if you want. I like to just take a bodkin and scrape the tips, pulling towards the rear. You don't have to go crazy because as you fish this fly, this mohair yarn is going to come out anyway. But what you want to do is you want to form a shroud. Once you clip out a 360, you'll see it begin to get a little fuzzy. Almost form like a cocoon around the body, and then you can just start sweeping it back at that point, and you'll see it begin to shroud the tail a little bit. And there you have it, the pond leech. This is again, it's a mohair marabou leech, just like every other mohair marabou leech. This is just my warm water specific one that I use. I fish it almost 100% in this color combination. Very seldom do I deviate, and very seldom does it let me down. There you have it, the pond leech. Hope it adds to your box. Good luck. See you in water.